in Las Vegas. Conservative Coffee Talk, episode 4. A daily conservative news briefing. We're going to do it Monday through Friday every morning to get our day started before we get too busy and go and do other things. Grab a cup of Joe, not Joe Biden. This is my super coffee. I am not promoting this brand. It just has a lot of caffeine and I like it a lot. I like mocha. I got a little 70s rock going on in the background. And all right, let's get into it. Happy Friday. Happy January 31st, 2025. Can you believe January's already gone? It flew by. The inauguration was on the 20th, and Trump's hit the ground running, doing a lot of great stuff. We'll be talking about it on Monday through Fridays every morning, just kind of highlighting stories that we think are important for you guys to know about from a conservative perspective. And I've got a few for you today to wrap it up before the weekend starts. I'm going to say hi to everyone that's joining me. Thanks for joining me today. Again, I'm Soli in Las Vegas. I'm a conservative podcaster, content creator, musician, and conservative. So here we go. The first thing, of course, hi Sunny, hey Ron, thanks for joining me. Hello Raymond, hello Rick, hello Doug. The first order of business for Conservative Coffee Talk, of course, is the Potomac plane crash. I spent the morning trying to follow it the best that I can and learn what I could. Kenny, how are you? Greg, thanks for joining me. Gene. It's a tragedy. They're still sifting through the details. Literally, they've got accident teams in the water figuring out what happened. They're talking to the air traffic control tower to figure out what went wrong. It's a real tragedy. Trump's made some statements about what happened. Pete Hegseth, the new DOD chief, is talking about it as well. They're going to make sure this never happens again, but it's just an awful tragedy. My heart goes out to all the families that lost loved ones in the tragedy and the plane crash. We hope there's some accountability. We hope that they fix the problems internally that led to this disaster. I'm not here to point any fingers at anybody. I'm just a regular citizen like you guys. I just know it's a real tragedy. And to all the families that lost loved ones, and to the service members that lost ones. It was a commercial plane that collided with a military plane. We just send our thoughts and prayers to their families. We hope they heal quickly. And again, I know that Trump's on it. Trump's been making lots of statements talking about the tragedy and the repercussions from it, and how he intends to revamp all these agencies and get them up to speed and working better and doing their jobs more effectively, because an air traffic controller's got a very important position. I mean, you're putting your life in the hands of the people running the planes. So just feel terrible about that. And I'm sure you guys have heard about it too. Hey Randy, hey Bruce, thanks for joining me. This is Conservative Coffee Talk. I'm Soli in Las Vegas. Just a quick little briefing on the morning's news before we head into the weekend. I'm going to say hi to everybody that's on here. So Trump's all over it. And it's not time. I don't think it's time to be pointing fingers at anyone right now. If they're going to figure out what went wrong and make it right. And like Trump has promised with everything else, I just think it's so refreshing to see the President of the United States come out and talk to people about what's going on and what he plans to do about it. Joe Biden, for 4 years, it was statements, pre-written statements, him reading off a teleprompter, and him not answering questions. He'd make a statement and walk off stage and not answer questions. Or the press secretary would read statements that he supposedly said. I love having the president this involved in national affairs. I think it's a great thing for the country. It's an example of how America first he really is. And I know that he's serious about wanting to fix these problems. And it's just an unfortunate tragedy. And our hearts and prayers go out to everyone that was affected by it, including the folks on the military side. Hello, I'm saying hi to everyone. Bubba, Chuck, Cindy, Larry, what's going on? Christopher, how are you? I'm saying hi, good morning. I'm in Southern Nevada on the West Coast, like same time as LA. So it's still morning. It's late morning now, but it's still the morning, so I didn't miss it. Didn't miss a chance to come on here and talk about the day's affairs before we all get too busy and head into the weekend. The second thing I wanted to talk about was Trump's cabinet. Have you guys been watching the battle, the cabinet confirmation hearings? Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Kash Patel. Man, has it been exciting to watch these folks go at it and talk about what's going on. And the Democrats are trying to push back on everything. And Trump's gonna get who he wants in there. I mean, Trump's got the momentum of the country behind him. He picked these people for a reason. They're all America First patriots. So I think that the Democrats resisting it is what they're supposed to do. They're now the party in opposition, but they're also not the minority party. And it's just interesting to see that change, that shift change so quickly from the Biden-Harris administration controlling 2/3 of the government to the Democrats being the minority party. They don't control anything right now. So, I mean, it's a healthy debate to see what these candidates have to say about contentious issues, but I think ultimately Trump's going to get his cabinet confirmed, and we're going to have a much stronger America First team running the country, which is better for everybody. But if you get a chance to hop on YouTube or any of those channels and watch Tulsi and Cash and RFK Jr. Battling with the Democratic senators, it's very, very telling. I'm learning a lot actually from watching them interact about policies, about what works, what doesn't work, and why Trump's new cabinet appointees are going to do a great job in those new roles. So check that out. Excuse me. Trump is holding an education summit internally in D.C. today. I mentioned yesterday on the show that the nation's report card has come in, and American students are failing in math and reading. They're failing. They're in the 40 percentile or lower in public schools across the country. And Trump is now coordinating all the agencies that handle education at the federal and state level, because he's going to control the money that goes to these states, and he wants the schools to perform better. You know, he's very, very interested in doing either vouchers, magnet schools, faith-based schools, or private schools, and finding funding to give directly to parents. We don't want it going through the schools. We don't want it going through the government. We want parents to get money directly to be able to send their children to the schools of their choice. It's long overdue that kids are stuck going to a school in their zip code. That's an old way of doing it. That's an old method of education. It's 2025. And this administration, and me personally, I think that parents should have a say in what school their children go to. And if it means busing their children to schools somewhere else, well, that's all we pay taxes. We pay taxes to afford busing children to schools where parents think their children will excel. And if you're in a zip code with a failing school and your children is forced to go to a failing school, I don't see how that serves anyone. You know, it certainly doesn't serve the children, which is what the Trump team wants to do. They want to see our report card come up. They want to see children excelling in math and reading again, or at least meeting the average requirements, which is not the way it's going right now. So in terms of the nation's report card, it's not good. Tomorrow, there's a big deal going on with the DNC. The DNC is going to be naming its new chairperson. I don't even know the current person's name. It's Joe Biden appointed someone 4 years ago. I know it's a woman, and she's definitely stepping down because, you know, Biden-Harris lost the election in a very decisive manner, so that person's lost their gig. And tomorrow, the DNC will be naming their new DNC chairperson. I have no idea who that's going to be, but I have some advice for them, and I hope you guys will agree with me. And the advice is, hating Trump and blaming Trump for everything is not a policy. That's what their policy, and that's what their policy positions were going into the presidential election in November of 2024, and we saw how that worked out for them. Hating Trump and blaming Trump for everything is not policy. That's just rhetoric and hate. So I hope the Democrats figure out what they really stand for, how they plan to change their party, get it back in line with American values, because Americans said very clearly, we don't want Kamala Harris, we don't want Joe Biden, we don't want these far left open borders, endless wars, double-digit inflation policies anymore. We want America First policies. So tomorrow the DNC is going to try to name a new DNC chairperson, and possibly, and I hope, head in a different direction that's more America First, that keeps in mind that average people who pay taxes are struggling. It's been tough. It's been a really tough 4 years for a lot of folks. And rightfully so. I mean, gas has been super expensive. Energy's been super expensive. I mean, there were a couple of years there where mortgage rates were over 7%. That made buying a home almost impossible for most people. So I hope the Democrats come back to earth and they start reconnecting with their constituents, spending time with actual American citizens and listening to them and figuring out what's really important to them. And I can tell you that it's not these isms that the Democrats spend a lot of time talking about. It's about being able to pay their bills, get their kids to good schools, closing up the borders, not spending all of our tax money on foreign endless wars that we don't even know what's happening with them, and making America First a priority. So I wish the Democrats luck. I hope they pick a good spokesperson that is someone that as a common sense spokesperson that understands the American people the way that we feel today after 4 years of the Democrats pretty much ignoring our wishes when it comes to cost of living, affordability, and endless wars and open borders. Essentially, that's all I had for you today, guys. Today was going to be a quick one because it's Friday. We're heading into the weekend. This is the 4th episode of this new show that we're doing, Conservative Coffee Talk, where we have a cup of Joe, not Joe Biden, drink some coffee. I like the super coffee. I'm not endorsing it, but just got tons of caffeine if you want to wake up on a Friday and get your weekend started. I've got a podcast too with a partner of mine, Jeff C., here in Las Vegas. It's called Patriots Only Please. Patriots Only Please, name of the TikTok channel as well, Patriots Only Please. Check us out on all the socials, on YouTube, Rumble, all that stuff here. I want to say hi to everyone before I sign off. I want to say hi to the folks who are on the chat right now. It'll take a minute because there's a lot of people here, but Raymond, Rick, Doug, Billy, Merle, Greg, Kenny, September with a Z, cool, Chip Stone, Thomas, Joseph, Fast, CTK, Ken Star, Melinda, how you doing, Melinda? Steel Mafia, Dio Cobino, 62, cool name, Jerry, Nico, what's going on? Hope you guys have a great weekend. Come back on Monday. We'll be doing the coffee talk, conservative coffee talk every day, Monday through Friday. Justin, what's up? Art, Johnny, Fred, Venus, Eric, Wendy, Wenda, I can't say the name, but it's Wenda, begins with Wenda, Vern, Chris, thanks so much for joining me today. Super General, how are you? Kim, Giselle, Mike, Gary, Clay, Cindy, Larry, Bubba, Christopher, a lot more folks, Robert, Brooks. Have a great weekend. Check out the shows, the previous shows, if you want, here on the TikTok channel or on the YouTube channel on patriotsonlyplease.com. And keep on trumping. Have a great weekend, guys. Coffee rocks. Soli out from Las Vegas. You guys have a great weekend. Thanks so much. God bless. Let me see if I can get it now. One more time. Here we go.